Gigi reading FoodWISE. And again, just a few paragraphs, but a very little piece of history in USDA, United States Food and Farm Policy, where the administration was doing the right thing. So needed now. And I include a link, which many of you have probably seen by now. And it is Trevor Noah's 18-minute soliloquy on societal contract, how it works, how it functions, and how society is built. So first, just a few pages, a few paragraphs here. FoodWISE. It wasn't always like this. So I'll read the paragraph before. For small-scale farmers, we're talking about policies that support resilience. The overall market is shaped by the subsidies of their big business competitors. There needs to be government policy that helps small-scale farmers to be more resilient, although the 2018 Farm Bill makes some strides in this direction, so that big companies do not get all the benefits and at small farms' expense. Assistance could include support for particular production practices or inexpensive credit and financing. It wasn't always like this. The Roosevelt administration took on mega farming to advocate for agricultural workers, tenant farmers, and small-scale family farmers as part of the Depression-era New Deal. The wide-ranging Agricultural Adjustment Act of 1933, reauthorized periodically as the Farm Bill, was meant to adjust prices by controlling supply through production controls and subsidy payments. But the size of farms was always a concern, and various programs dealt with the disadvantaged smaller scale farms and the landless. Two agencies of the USDA, the Farm Security Administration, the FSA, and the Bureau of Agricultural Economics, the BAE, continued through World War II in their efforts to aid landless farmers. At one point, the FSA had 800,000 client families, some of its programs at least 20% African American. It established, among other things, networks of grassroots land use planning committees from a broad population base, working with scientists. Another problem to help smaller farmers and the landless was the Rural Rehabilitation Program of the FSA, which provided loans, grants, and technical assistance to tenants, sharecroppers, and other struggling farmers. Other successful programs included group medical and dental plans and established farm labor standards for migrant labor camps in California. Tens of thousands may have benefited, but millions more did not. Those programs had it right. Small-scale farmers need financial help. Many good ideas to improve farming simply cannot be implemented by small-scale farmers due to their limited access to financing and other resources. Banks just don't like to fund risky ventures, and small operations are themselves less able to take on debt than big farms with more capital investments and larger cash flow. But standard cost benefit calculations may sometimes undervalue benefits. For one, sustainability is a very positive benefit. Certainly there is a place for creative approaches as well, as with the steps of Twin Brook Creamery, who brought in neighbors and community members to finance their glass bottling operation. I like those market solutions, and I talk about them in the book, but here too is where I'm talking about state intervention. And the state, in fact, does have a serious role to play. I am upset. So it is difficult for me to talk. I make mistakes and I stumble. But I do encourage you to read, to listen, and there must be transcripts. I've seen selections. The 18 minutes from Trevor Noah's address And as he points out, we are upset because we have seen the taking of George Floyd's life on screen, but how many thousands more are there, George Floyd's, who did not die? And so perhaps it is less grim. This is what he tells us. But nonetheless, completely antithetical to what the society should be about and who the society should be protecting.